The Riders believe quarterback Cody Fajardo is at his best in, quote, the most pressure-packed situations, close quote. Social media reacted with gifs of them hitting the upright in the 2019 West Final. Rightfully so, I suppose. Can Fajardo perform under the ultimate pressure of Saskatchewan hosting the Grey Cup in November?
To me, Fajardo is a bit of an enigma because I think he actually performs fairly well under pressure on the field. Even hitting the goalpost, I don't think that's necessarily an indicator of him choking. If it is funny, but I don't place all the blame on him. That was a fluke incident. That's not his fault necessarily. But what I do see with him in some of his commentary during last season is that he is deeply affected when people come on social media with those gifs of him hitting the upright and other critiques. And on a human level, right, we do need to be kinder on social media. I can empathize with him. But as a starting quarterback for the most well-followed franchise in the CFL, coming up on the most important potential game of your life in trying to get to a Grey Cup in Regina, I wonder how he'll be able to handle the increased microscope that he's going to be under and all the added critiques that'll come this year, because you could see that it hurt him in a very real sense, some of the criticism that he received from fans last year.
It did, and he talked about it pretty openly. With all due respect, he let us inside his mind and his thought process a little bit, but he's about to experience a season unlike any other. And really, only Darian Durant can tell him what it's like from a quarterback perspective to go through a year like that. And Durant was able to stand at Old Mosaic Stadium, hoisting the Grey Cup at the end of the 2013 season and become a legend for life in that franchise wearing green and white. Like maybe one day he'll have a statue there for what he did just arguably in that season alone. So if Fajardo can deal with the pressure, and I think you made a valid point, on the field, we have seen him come up with big plays, and he's been a winner since being a starting quarterback. Like he has a great win-loss record. I don't know exactly what it is off the top of my head, but I think it's in and around 22-10 in the regular season. The only thing is he's ran into the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who become a juggernaut twice in the West Final, but both of those were one-score games that arguably could have went either way. You take the upright out of the way there. Let's say Fajardo completes that for a touchdown pass. They tie the game. Who knows what happens? And then they had all those turnovers and opportunities in Winnipeg last year with a chance to get to the Grey Cup. And Craig Dickinson has come out and said like they felt like they could have won that game. So they've been right there. But this season, there will be expectations unlike any other. Not even just the average football fan, but people around the province. And I'll give you an example. We'll expect the Riders to be in the game because in Hamilton, everyone just thought because the Tiger Cats were hosting a Grey Cup meant they were going to be in the game. Those are, of course, the uninitiated CFL fans. But when that's the thought process, you have to get there. It doesn't matter what everybody thinks, but you actually have to win your way there, as we well know. And Fajardo's going to have to deal with that pressure. So I hope that he honestly doesn't read social media as much and just keeps his focus on the field for the benefit of the Riders.
Yeah, delete your Twitter, delete your Instagram, delete your Facebook, go into a little bubble, only read books. That's my advice to Cody Fajardo. I think he did take a bit of a step back last year, and every quarterback in the league did because of the year off, and it weighed on him with the criticism. My question is, can he take a step forward again? Can he prove to us that he's resilient? Because he's got all the talent in the world on the field. I think he can be dynamic. He can get the Riders there as long as he's right upstairs.
And they got to protect him up front. To me, that is the absolute key. Getting Jamal Campbell was a great pickup for them that a lot of people might not have expected. But I think that's going to be critical, that there might be some unfair criticism directed Fajardo's way this year like there was last year because they just didn't protect him very well. Getting Duke Williams back is certainly going to help. Hopefully Shaq Evans is healthy because that's one of his favorite deep threats. In fact, probably his favorite guy to go down the field and get vertical with. So you start the season off healthy and hopefully you can protect him. And then you probably have a pretty good shot because he has shown in those pressure situations that he has no issue throwing the ball or stepping up, putting his shoulder down, putting his body on the line to do what it takes to get wins. Now, Rider fans and Craig Dickinson and Jeremy O'Day and even Craig Reynolds might cringe sometimes when he's diving for the pylon like he did against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. I believe that was back in 2019. But the fact that he has that mentality bodes well for him in those situations, that he's not afraid to step up, right? Sometimes you see quarterbacks that do not put their body on the line or are not willing to do everything that it takes from a physical pounding standpoint to get a win. But we know Fajardo's going to do that. And you would imagine another year actually on the field in Jason Moss's offense will certainly help him in his quest to hoist that Grey Cup at new Mosaic Stadium and do what Darian Durant was able to do in 2013.